Madness. I said, yo, man, I got me up. I want to be live, but I swear it's not easy. My baby rapping, my old man, I get it. My kid was doing, I'm breaking the profit. On my way, people calling me, these all the trouble I see, I do at the peace. When they're stopping the sources, I can't pay the phone, only how I can pay. Sooner or later, my hustle pay. Never, and I'm rushing myself. Keep it cool, everything I'm a CC. Too much rushing, I'm probably chasing. One day. One day. Okay, cool. One day.
I'm gonna pay one day. Enemies can go see my face. People I know I'm not watching it. One day, success gonna come my way. I know my hustle gonna pay one day. Enemies can gonna see my face. People I know I'm not watching it. One day, success gonna come my way. Yeah. My mama was so ashamed. My papa was so angry. My friend was the money. Any mess that will come on and miss. So I'm on my I'm on my way to this person. I'm looking for money. Looking for money. Looking for money. I want make mama happy. Want make papa happy. Want make all my brothers and sisters to come around me.
Hey, captain the cool. Why you know you hustle? Why saying the go by the Genesis? Shall come at the fire, shall come at the power. I feel I be working on Wednesday. You must look for the mile, you must look for the mile. All in the dark, all in the week, all in the sun.
My mama was so ashamed. My papa was so angry. My friend was the money. Any mess that will come on and miss. So I'm on my
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Tony Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson. This morning, I'm in Seeker on Thornton Avenue at Sarcastic Sweets. I'm here with the proprietor. Ma'am, could you introduce yourself to us and tell us how long you've been here?
So my name is Nina Reed. I'm from Anchorage, Alaska, but I've had the store here in I had it based in Rhode Island for 10 years, where I had my food truck, and this is our first year in Seekonk, Massachusetts. So we've been here for a full year as of August 19th.
So tell us about Sarcastic Sweets.
So what to tell you about Sarcastic Sweets? We started out as a food truck. We do custom orders, cakes, weddings, pickups, deliveries, birthday parties, colleges, fundraisers, churches, very important to me. We do all of those types of events, but then we were finally able to get a store through a lot of savings and fundraising and things like that here in Seekonk, Massachusetts. So we still service Rhode Island quite a bit, but we also service a lot of Massachusetts. And we have the bakery portion, which is Sarcastic Sweets, and the Alaska Treehouse portion of things, which is the breakfast, lunch, smoothies, cafe portion of things. So you can come in and do your work like an internet cafe, or you can have breakfast with your family, or lunch. We do breakfast all day, because in Alaska you can have breakfast any time of the day. Any time of the day could be breakfast. Pastries, movie, special orders.
This is fantastic. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tuna Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. It's not only Friday. Today is Black Friday in the United States of America. What does that mean? This is the hour of shopping. Shopping. You know, we had the holiday yesterday. People left work. Maybe the whole week people took off maybe the day before the holiday. And people looking to spend money this weekend, man. So you can have a lot of discounts. There can be 50% discount, 30%, 40%, all things in the stores, man. I bet you right now people are lined up because Black Friday sales starts early in the morning. Some people line up 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. And right now, some of those stores are opening their doors. And Lord Almighty, there's going to be a rush. Oh, man, just this year, no fighting, please. No fighting. You know, people always fighting over presents. People take one present, then the last one left. Somebody else catch it. They're pulling it, destroying it, beating each other, fighting. I mean, this is drama. USA. So today is drama day for all you people who new to American culture or just coming to this country. When they talk about Black Friday, this is it. It's basically a shopping day where people go out of their minds. On the news, I just saw the news this morning. There were people already lined up talking about they waiting for the store to open. Their parents did it. And it's cheap because for Christmas coming up, some people only got small money to spend. You got $100. The woman on the TV said when she was in school, she always had $100 to spend for Christmas. And the only way she could buy a lot of things was to go on the Black Friday sales and be there early. So she could stretch $100 out to get plenty of presents for people. So she remembered that, and she's online this morning again. So that's it. Black Friday, TGIF. What else? In New Bedford High School and the Durfee High School were playing football. At the end of the game, one of the players went to the other side, said something, and all of a sudden there was a big brawl. I mean, there was fighting. People say it was nasty, man. People was hitting, swinging their helmets. If you get hit with one of those football helmets, you got a concoction. You got a broken jaw. You got broken teeth. And it was on the news. They said these children went wild, man, started fighting each other. There was a brawl on the field, the two teams. And people went there punching, throwing helmets, swinging helmets, all kinds of things. And were on the news. So the school said there's going to be an investigation. One of the schools says there's going to be an investigation. The other school is tight-lipped about it. So they haven't said anything yet. So that's it. I mean, a brawl on the field. And also, let's talk about the World Cup. I haven't touched anything about the World Cup yet. The games are going on. We know that Cameroon and Ghana got defeated yesterday. Sad news for them. But better than Liberia because Liberia is nowhere around. Liberia didn't even pass the African Cup. So how do we make the World Cup? And we must take our hats off to Team Weah, who scored the lone goal for the United States of America when America played her first game recently. I think it was a draw. And Team Weah scored a goal. Amazing goal. Amazing goal. This guy, despite his father being our crook and useless president, Tim Weah is making a name for himself. People talking about Tim playing for a foreign country and all of that. If Tim Weah had played for Liberia, his name would never be recognized because Liberia would never make it. Tim Weah is just one man. He can come with all the talents in the world. And secondly, he's a young man. He's immature in the game. He's playing for this team at this level, but for this level, he's still immature. He's young. That's why his mentor, Pele, wrote him and said, my man, you're doing well. You got a lot of way to go. Keep on training. Keep on this. So if Pele can tell him that, you know he's still young for the game, his mind, but he's good. And they have a lot of talent. People, Pele himself was good. Pele was a teenager when he started playing. He wasn't mature enough, but he knew the game. He could read the game. And same thing with Tim Weah. So, as Liberians, don't even bring your minds close to wondering and talking about Tim Weah playing for Liberia or playing for a foreign country. Tim Weah got to make his own path. And Liberia is no nation for Tim Weah to come to prove himself. Liberia is a dumb, useless nation, and that boy has the talent. Anybody in our Liberia can leave Liberia and go to America and be as talented as Tim Weah at that age. I know if I had come to America as a young person playing the basketball that I played and having the mentality I had, I would be a superstar in America. It's not a guarantee, but based on my performance in Liberia, it was a strong possibility. So Tim Weah's experience in America, you don't even compare it to Liberia. Okay? My only problem is his father coming here to stay for 2 months, which we'll talk about, at the expense of the Liberian people. Okay? So, yes, and we'll talk about that, man. I don't want to deal with it right now. Okay? Right now in Providence, Rhode Island, it's in the 30s. It's cold, it's chilly, and all of that. And it's cloudy. The whole day may be cloudy. We expect rain between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So I heard that on the news. I'm just passing that along. It would be light rain. So it will come, it will go, it will come and go, intermittent. So that's the news. But the rest of the day will be cloudy. We're going up to almost 50 degrees today. It will be in the high 40s. Okay? But just imagine, just remember that time of the rain. Okay? So, my topic this morning is President George Weah's 2 months vacation away from his home country a deliberate plan to incite Liberians to remove him from the presidency? That's a compelling question. That is a compelling question because no president, where in the world have you had a president go away from his country for 2 months? Then he goes to the World Cup to sit down there and watch his son play. Not even one game now. He wants to stay the whole World Cup and watch the whole World Cup before he move on to wherever he got to move on to. You see, and I hear some Liberians talking, oh, you know, the man lost his son. It has a son and a father. Are you people stupid? You see, this is a problem with us. We come to America, we get small education. We think we can think like Americans. And that's why they always punish us. I heard a guy on Ashford Garley's show talking like that. He was some kind of principal for one school in Liberia, and they fired him because they say he put the students on the street to demonstrate. And that was good for him. That was good for him because the stupid thing he was saying on Garley's show made me wonder whether he was a sound thinking person or not. He gets on the show and then, oh, you know, and George Weah went to see his son play football. Nobody, no fathers always dream for the children to excel. And when your child excels to that level, you feel obligated to go there. So, you were talking like it was right for George Weah to be there for 2 months or 1 month. Then somebody called into the show and said, my man, don't talk like that, man. Everybody can be proud of their son, but you are a leader with responsibility of millions of people. You leave your duty and go sit down to work up to watch your son while the people starving, the nation got crisis, election coming on, everything going to boot. You will leave your country for 2 months and go watch World Cup. He said, yes, everybody can love their children, but at least go there and watch them for the first game. See them for the first game and go back home. Or whenever they play, they're right in Qatar. You got private jet. Whenever they play, you want to go see him, fly there and go watch him and come back home. But why you got to go out of the country for a whole 2 months? For what? All our money. The first trip you took almost 2 million. The second trip you won almost 2 million. Where all this money coming from? It's so depressing, man. It's so depressing. And this man who said that, sitting down there in his coat and tie, and in his coat so he didn't have no tie, sitting there with his coat, talking about how they dismiss him from the school because somebody lied on him and told the president that he put the children in the street because the teachers didn't get paid. He was the main cause of them doing it. And he couldn't go defend himself. He got fired for that. Now he's sitting here talking this stupid thing about George Weah, love his son so much. It's understandable for him to go watch his son play football in the World Cup. Yes, for 1 day or 1 game. But not to take 1 month off of the government salary to go sit there to watch the whole game? Are you crazy? You see what this man is supposed to be educated with PhD. When our people thinking like this, our educated people, what hope is there for our country? They come to this country, they learn all the things they want to be there, the white people. No white man in this country will take 2 months off except he got it on his vacation list. People can take 1 month off, but I never hear people taking 2 months, 3 months, except some people do it and come to retire. And they got hours on the books, they got hours of sick time and all of that. And the company force you to take time off, to use your sick time, they don't want to pay you for it. So they tell you if you don't use the sick time, you will lose it. So some people take long vacation with the sick time. Well, what the company will do, you're about to retire. They don't want to pay you for it. But you didn't just take off for your country for 2 months like that. And you the head of the nation. You controlling everything that going on in our country. You take off for 2 months. It's like a play country. Do we live in a play country? We must live in a play country because people don't behave like that. Now, we hear in the news, remember I told you, Liberian awakening is approaching. We are awakening. We are beginning to come from our dark ages into a renaissance, into a new era. And when we come into this new era, you people will see changes that you have never seen before. And one of the changes right now, if you read front page Africa Today, a group of lawyers have written the Minister of Justice, Musa Dean, telling him they want a report of the investigation of the 3 sanctioned people. They call themselves the Public Interest Advocacy Center. They're represented by Councillor Elisha Stowe. He's the leader for all of them, but it's a group of lawyers. All of them got together and they wrote the Justice Minister. And they told him, say, look, the U.S. sanctioned these 3 people. They say they got evidence of corruption against them. And they are taking this approach because it is against the interests of the Magnitsky Act, which was formulated to help prevent corruption against peoples of the world. And these people have been sanctioned under that act and cannot travel out of Liberia, cannot communicate with people around the world who want America's help. America is a greater nation. So if you violate anything with America and they sanction you, she controls most of the banks in the world. She is a world power. You will not travel. You will not do nothing. And this is what these people are facing now. They're freezing all their money in all the foreign nations. They're freezing all their properties. So when the U.S. sanctioned these people, President George Weah came out and suspended them and told us that they will be pending an investigation. Since these sanctioned people were suspended by the president, there has been no report of investigation on Samuel McGill, on Nathaniel McGill, Bill Twilway, and Serena Cephas. There has been no investigation talked about on these people. Now these lawyers, who are also members of the Community Advocacy Center, what do you call it? Part of the Advocates for Community Alternatives, which is a big community, a larger group of different people in the community. And these lawyers are there to help them ensure that our laws are followed, that the interests of the Liberian people in Liberia are put first above the interests of the people. They are a check and balance group. So that's where the lawyers came from. So within that Advocacy for Community Alternative Group is this small group called PHILAC, Public Interest Advocacy Centers, PILAC. That's their acronym, PHILAC. These are lawyers. And all of them want to know, why is there not an investigation on these criminals? Why? Because America's interest in Liberia is great. And that's why she's sanctioning these people. Because America invests a lot in Liberia. And if America can sanction them, there is probable cause. There are two words, legal words, that they use in the Providence Journal. If you're a legal person, you know how deep it is. One is probable cause and one is reasonable doubt or reasonable suspicion. The lawyers are saying to the Minister of Justice of Liberia, you must investigate these people. Because when the United States sanctioned them, it gave us probable cause to know that these people, it gave us probable cause to know that these people have done something wrong. They have committed an act. That's probable cause to investigate them. Because under the law, you must have reason to investigate people. You can't just jump up and say, oh, better, I suspect you, I will investigate. You can't do that. But now that the U.S. has come out and told us, yeah, we got evidence that these people have done these things, that's probable cause. The United States is not a small nation. It's not a joke. When they say people commit crime and they sanction you, you are sanctioned. It affects your life, your livelihood, and everything. So our lawyers are saying that if you sanction these people and say fire them, by the president further firing them, it further substantiates the point that probable cause has been committed. The president cannot just suspend people from their jobs without reasonable cause. So if you a probable cause, whatever it is, if you suspend people from the job, there is cause for them to be properly investigated. So if they have been investigated and the justice minister comes on and says, yeah, we have looked at the evidence and there's insufficient evidence here to bring any justifiable investigation against these people or prosecution against these people, they want the evidence. They want to see the proof of all the investigations that the government has done that justifies the government position that no crime has been committed. So if they're saying that, they say, okay, yes, if you say no crime has been committed, give us all the evidence, let us evaluate it for ourselves and the community. But if there is evidence of criminal act that has been committed or an investigation, give us the document, let us verify that you have made some investigation. But until now, we have not had an investigation. And the lawyers are saying also that this is a pattern of business as usual. The president is supposed to declare his asset. He and his people have refused to do it. To today, they haven't done it. And these people are saying that Mr. Fine and Mr. Justice Minister, there are too many things on the book that you should have investigated, and you still haven't investigated it. We still don't have good reports on it. So for transparency, accountability, and good governance, we want reports of investigation you have done. If you say you have done investigation, and if you say these people, there's no evidence enough to raise this allegation up to prosecution level, we want to see the documents. But as far as they believe, there is reasonable doubt because of the United States sanction, 1, and George Weah suspending these people, 2, it gives rise to our constitutional need to investigate these people. The president just can't suspend people for nothing. When he suspends you, there has to be an investigation. And especially when he says that it's going to be an investigation, there must be an investigation. So this is where we stand now. And this is the same thing that I told you, my people, because it goes back to our cultural phrases. When you pull rope, rope pull bush, bush pull forest. That's it here. We started with a sanction. Now we got lawyers coming up and saying, no, we united together. We want evidence. Justice Minister, produce. Now you have lawyers demanding documents and evidence in this case. These are people standing up for us. This is where we start to change our country, man. This is where we try to move forward. We cannot be afraid of protests. We cannot be afraid of strikes. We cannot be afraid of this damn government. We can change our country. But we all got to work in unison, man. Now we're starting to see it. When our lawyers come together, who are not part of the system, and demand accountability and justice from the Justice Minister, he got to produce. All of us can go to the president, and that's what I told you yesterday. Didn't I tell you yesterday about the lawyers that are striking? And look at the useless people. They're striking, they're not striking for the pay. Come to find out, they're striking because all of them want new cars. They want $40,000, $50,000 cars too. Who's going to pay for that? Who's going to buy all these useless people cars? Then they're talking about they pay too low. If you will buy you the car, you got to pay for it back. Then you complain that you pay too low. We're going to get the money from the pay it back, man. We can't follow this deceitfulness. We can't follow it. I've been in it. I know it. I see it. As soon as it starts, I take one step back because I know it. I lived in it for too long all my life. Nobody got to tell me when corruption starting among Liberians, but I know it. As soon as I hear the story, I know it. I know it. And that's some of the reasons they don't like me too. Because I put them on the spot. I put them on the spot. I don't beat around the bush. I ain't going to tell you this is blue when this is white. I ain't going to do it for nobody. I ain't going to do it. If it's blue, it's blue. And we got to face the facts. You know? We got to face the facts. This is our country. And all of us got to get together to fight for our country. All of us got to get together to fight corruption. All of us got to get together to fight the stealing of our wealth and resources. It's too much, man. From 1980 to today, you know how much money people have stolen from our coffers? Billions and billions of dollars. Because from 1980 to today, all our indigenous people think it's a tribal thing. Oh, they're our town. The Congo people did it. So every tribe want to steal their money. And we can't do that. We can't do that. Now that we are trying to steal, he putting all the Southeastern people in there to rob our country. When the next president will come, where will go? Where will go? We're going to go down the same path. We'll go down the same path. You come to power, you put the same corrupt people in power. In all our government agencies. We don't look for new people. We put the same corrupt, useless people in power. And when they get there, they do the same thing. That is, the Liberian people have lost hope in our leadership. You talk to them now, they will say, oh, Broker go there, he will do the same thing. Cummings go there. But as for Cummings' judgment is poor. I'm just sorry. With Cummings, Alexander Cummings, I have no, when your judgment is poor, it's poor. You can't be a political prostitute. You just running around looking for people to work with you. And all the people you're looking for to work with you got bad records. You're not evaluating the people you're going to. Now you're not married yourself with Musa Ability and all these people here. And it's just the same evil, wicked corruption thing again. How can we change that? With Cummings' own, I just give up because his own, you can see it's just a fight for power. Yeah, he may have good intentions, but his judgment is poor. It's poor, man. It's poor. And when you see a president with poor judgment like that, fighting corrupt people, how can he change corruption? You talk about fighting corruption and you go join Musa Ability. He in the same bed with the people. What kind of corruption he will fight? And you see, that's why I stay away from all of this. I just sit down and watch and talk what I got to say. You know, our country needs to change. I don't know these people in action. I ain't going to call them to come on my show like all the other shows. That way you see, I don't have nobody here on my show. The people that I call are people that matters. That matter for what I want to do. You know, but other people, the politicians in Liberia, I'll call them on my show for what? What we talk about? Our country is dysfunctional. Me and the people ain't got nothing to talk about. Huh? I gotta watch Boca. Boca part of the same mix. Cummings part of the same mix. I can't be a man of poor judgment. I gotta sit down and watch what happened in my country. I gotta watch Boca. I gotta watch Cummings. I ain't rushing for position in government. I ain't rushing. I like my life. I just want to make money and do what I gotta do my program. You know, people can come on and this is how we can free our country. This is my contribution to free my country. I ain't gotta be in Liberia. I ain't gotta be under people. You know, every day I get up, I see 25, 30 people watch my show. I'm happy. I'm happy. If it was meant to be 6,000, 7,000, 1,000, it'll be that. I know those people. You know how many people I know and have helped in Liberia? But people don't follow other people. You know? So I don't bother myself with that. But the point is, my contribution is documented. It's laid down. See? I ain't got soft skin. I know what I stand on, the principles I stand on. And sometimes when you stand on principles, you got to stand alone. You got to stand alone because sometimes it takes people a long time to catch up to what you're saying, to what you mean. Right now, they can't see it. Some people can't see it because it's not in their reach. They're looking at different things, and I'm coming from a different direction and telling them, we can do better. We don't have to go through government. We don't have to go through our mind and power to do better. That's bullshit. The system we've been living under in Liberia, in Africa, that bullshit. It retards us from individual progress and advancement. It retards us. Because when everything family, when everything in a group, and sometimes it's not the best thing for you as an individual, as a man who loves people. Sometimes it's not the best thing for you. You got to step aside. The same thing with me in politics in Liberia. I see the deceitfulness, I see the lies, I see the treachery from school. It's not only in the political arena. When you go to school in Liberia, you see the politics too. You see the wickedness, you see the lies, you see the treachery. It just evolves to the bigger level. But that's the problem we're facing in our country today. And now our president, I hear people talking about it. It makes sense. Because this man seems to have no regards for any consequences in our country. As president, he feels he can do anything he want to do and there will be no consequences. Even when the people talk, he can come and tell them, oh man, you forget about that thing, man. And the people will say, yeah, let's forget about it. And even more now that his son is an international star, has scored a goal, you know he'll be more brazen. He did it. He just wrote us right after the song play and said, give me 25 more days. You can't say nothing. I am the star of Liberia. My son is Liberia champion. I'll put you on the map. That's what we are saying. He's right. Because the Liberian people love it. We are saying I am the champion of Liberia. My family is the soccer family of Liberia. And you can't do shit to me. I will take 25 more days. I will get even 50 more days. And I will come home. And the nation will bow to me because there is no family in Liberia internationally known in the soccer world like my family. And that is true. That is true. I heard that teacher who we are fired for stupidness telling us that the president's son, he has a right to go watch his son play soccer. You got to give up. You got to give up. So, I don't know. Maybe that's God's will. We can't change it. We just got to accept it. Maybe it can be changed because of the tribalism, the division, the negative among Liberian people. Can't change it. I'm still trying to find out what the situation is. You know? What the situation is. I'm still trying to find out. But there is a need for us to continue on this trend of speaking about the ills of this government and why we need to change and enlightening our people. And the more and more we do that, our people will become awakened to the truth. And I told you about this Liberian Renaissance when we come out of the old age into the new era. We're coming. When people start writing the minister and demanding reports, we got to go after the president. And that's why I told the same lawyers here, they talk about their money and all that, but I thought they were really fighting for money, and I know that they were deceitful, trying to get new cars and things like that. But when they were talking about the money, I told them, I said, you got to arrest the real criminals in Liberia. The people that really, you got to prosecute these rogues. Instead of saying there's no evidence, as in best business as usual, the corruption go on as usual, and you were arresting these people and bringing them to book and they'll prosecute them, you will get good pay. You will get everything you want. But everybody's stealing all the money, then you want new cars again at the taxpayer expense. My Liberian people, you will see a new day soon. You will see a new day when all of us will enjoy our wealth. When the money will be so much for all Liberians that we'll forget about the BP shot and all these stupid people. All of us, we have the chance to live good lives. All of us can do it, but I don't know why the people, they're keeping us down. And it's not only our government, it's a deliberate process to keep our people down. Because there's no reason why in our country People can't, the minimum wage for all Liberians cannot be $200. People making far less than $200 now. People not even making $200 a month. For the standard we're living today, it should be even $300, the minimum wage. The minimum wage for the people working in government, because we're not supposed to be paying the whole country. The government not supposed to be the payer, employer of the whole country. And we can never eliminate corruption of that. That's why every day I see it, I just get weak and weak. Because I just got to talk. I got to enlighten my people, because despite the stealing, the corruption, the overpopulating of our government that breeds corruption, somebody just got to tell the truth as the way it's supposed to be. Whether it's that way or not. But unless we're serious about changing our government, we can't do too much. Just employing the whole country by itself is a source of corruption. So, I don't know what to say. And we look at our president today. How can you doubt the fact that this man don't really want to lead Liberia no more? How can you doubt that? A president would love to be in his country to spearhead the progress and advancement of his people. But our man gone. Our man gone. For 2 months. And to show that they're so frivolous and childish, you take 50 people with him. 50 people. And we got to vote on that bill. 50 of our officials out of the country. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? That's my lesson for this morning, man. You go shopping, have a good day, folks. I really feel these are the kind of things that really break my spirit down. You know, you see your country where all of us can be enjoying, only a few people enjoying. From time immemorial, they do the same thing over and over. We move on group, you put the other group there, they come there with the same yo. And we can't get nothing for ourselves. We can't get nothing for ourselves. I rest my case, my people. That's my class for today. Have a good day.